Schnell, don't watch this video. Coming up this weekend, we have a couple of guys coming off wins over Danger Schnell. It's Dawg, Brandon Royval looking to make the return back from injury. He's going to be taking on Matheus Nicolau. And Matt Nicolau, low-key, one of the hottest guys in the UFC right now. Since he's come back, 4 straight wins. He's looked amazing his last 2 times out. Finished Matt Schnell. Didn't even get a scratch on him. Went on the microphone, spoke perfect English, and basically called his shot for a higher-ranked opponent. He asked the crowd if he should get a bonus, and Dana White said no. They didn't give him that extra money. So, for Nicolau, a couple of knockdowns in that matchup. Now taking on Brandon Royval. And since Royval came in, and listen, he was the LFA flyweight champ. He fought Tim Elliott, looked amazing in that one. Kind of been off to the races. And even for Royval, every fight since he's fought Brandon Moreno has been a bit of a step down, because at UFC 255 when they matched up, that was a title eliminator. And
wouldn't everything be a step down from the champion?
That's what got Brandon Moreno his shot against Deiveson Figueiredo. You had the shoulder injury to Brandon Royval. And when it's coming into this one, and I'll touch on it a little bit more, but Royval coming off of a broken wrist into this fight.
It seems like he's always coming off an injury, though. And I feel like that has to be said at this point in his career.
Royval was supposed to fight back, kind of in the fall of last year against Askar Askarov. Askarov had the kind of publicized weigh-in issues, so Royval went back to training, broke the wrist in training. So now he makes this long-awaited return. He also finished Matt Schnell, but one guy had, like a barn burner round 1 fight of the night against Schnell, and one guy put Schnell away. So when it does come down to this one, Matt, I think it's a ton of fun, and both guys match up very, very evenly stylistically in different ways.
Well, especially in different ways, I will say. Brandon Royval reminds me of like a young, and much crazier Gerald Meerschaert. Now, I brought this example up.
He gave him bath salts.
Just hear me out. I had brought this example up about Gerald Meerschaert on a previous video. It was, hey, when you think about basketball, there's all these different actions that you run before you get to a score. GM3 has the scoring ability, but he does miss some of the in-betweens to actually get there. And for Brandon Royval, he is cut from a lot of that same cloth. Are the offensive explosions that he can demonstrate in the octagon incredible? Yes, they are. There is nothing this man cannot do in a UFC octagon. Spinning elbows, long-range attacks. He has good body kicks up the middle, too. We all know how good his defensive submissions are, like you had brought up with that Tim Elliott fight. Like, if you had any questions whatsoever about how talented of a grappler Brandon Royval is...
The sweep that he had against Matt Schnell?
It was nice, but that's the problem with Brandon Royval that we have seen against some of these top-tier grapplers. He can get held down if you are more of a physically strong guy. Not that Nicolau will do that. It's just a part of his game that we have seen. And when he is kind of flowing, even when he's having a lot of success on the feet, he can still get clipped. Like, I go back not that long ago to the Kai Kara France fight. And I know Kai is an extremely talented fighter, but him and Nicolau fight in a pretty similar way. They're both high-up Muay Thai strikers. I know Kai, he has better footwork. I would say he's better at closing the distance with some of his strikes. But when he was able, after he got hurt by Royval, he was able to beat him with the fundamentals. And I know Nicolau isn't as attached to those fundamentals as a guy like Kai Kara France, but I could see him having a very similar fight. And I know what that means. It means walking through the fire, getting hurt by a guy who has big power. And we haven't seen Nicolau necessarily make it through some of those situations like a Kai Kara France. I just think this is one of those fights that not enough people are talking about for where it is on the card, because this could easily be a fight of the night by the time it's all said and done.
It's 2 top 5 ranked flyweights, and it's on the prelims. And when you look at it for Nicolau, 7 wins inside of the UFC's octagon, and you saw it, the left hook, left straight that he was able to drop Matt Schnell. His last time out, he dropped David Dvorak, and in that one, you think, okay, Manel Kape kind of made David look human. Matheus didn't even make it look close. And Matheus, I know the 2 fights when he came back, and again...
Dustin Ortiz one clouds my memory a lot, because Dustin Ortiz hit him with a head kick
knockout, and it was over pretty quick. Yeah. I know both these guys, Royval and Nicolau both have wins over Tim Elliott. Matheus Nicolau wasn't as wild and crazy, but Nicolau made it look pretty precise. He also has that really close win over Manel Kape that I had mentioned before. But when you do consider it out of these 2 guys, does Brandon Royval have great offensive wrestling? It's not kind of the bad. It's out of the scrambles. He's able to force errors into his jiu-jitsu. Does he have good jiu-jitsu? Brandon Royval has great jiu-jitsu. Does he have good striking? In parts, and the power's amazing.
Offensively, he does.
Matheus Nicolau has some of the best boxing you're going to find in this division. I mean, could you imagine if they laced it up boxing glove Nicolau against Figueiredo? Wouldn't that be fun to watch? I think
Figueiredo would destroy him.
It'd be a lot of fun to watch regardless. And Nicolau, again, it might cloud your judgment out of that Dustin Ortiz head kick knockout. And I saw a picture of Dustin Ortiz this past week. It was Ortiz, Michael Chandler, Gaston Bolanos. And when I saw it, I went, is that Fiziev? Like, he kind of looks like Fiziev with the shaved head and the beard. So when I look at the matchup like this, Matt, again, Royval's last time out, minus 260 favorite, got dropped by a straight right against Schnell to kick the fight off, which kind of scared me a little bit. When it comes down to this fight, Brandon Royval is not favored coming off of a bit of a lengthy layoff. Nicolau is almost a 2-1 favorite in the matchup. We have a look at the Topology votes. Surprise to us as they are to you. I'm going to say over under 67.5% Nicolau in this one.
I think it'll be over. I think a big portion will.
And it is a big portion. 1,050 total votes, 78% Nicolau, 68% by decision for the 22% that have Royval, 47% by submission. I'm surprised, and I know I set the bar kind of high in my own opinion, 67.5%. Brandon Royval's one of the fans' favorites out there. Twitter, our YouTube community, people love Brandon Royval, but apparently they're not picking him to win this fight.
I think Brandon Royval's a perfectly popular fighter, but I don't think he stands out as an
I think
outlier.
He's super popular.
I guess the majority of people think Matheus Nicolau's gonna... I just think Nicolau, and I said it earlier, the fundamentals are what give Brandon Royval trouble. Could he win by finish? Of course he could. He could knock out Nicolau. He could hurt him on the feet, get him into a scramble on the mat, take his back, and choke him out. I think Royval could finish this fight in the first, second, or third round. What I struggle to see, though, is can Royval do enough throughout 15 minutes to win this fight by decision? I think Nicolau could win this fight by stoppage, but also by decision. And I think for that little extra wrinkle, that's why I have Nicolau.
And I like Nicolau in this one for his boxing. And I know he's a Novo Niao guy, and if you look kind of closely, I know people didn't like the result, but in Luan Pinedo's corner on the weekend, UFC 287, Matheus Nicolau was there. Are they acquainted? I'd say so. So, Matt, when I do look at this one, I like Nicolau's boxing defense. He's got a good shell. And against a guy like Brandon Royval, I think those things can really carry him far in a matchup like this.
One of the craziest back pieces you will ever see in the UFC.
Oh my! Both of us going with the man with no nickname, Matheus Nicolau. You let us know down below in the comment section who you have. And now we're heating up, Matt. The next fight, Bill Algeo, TJ Brown. Possible fight of the night. You're not going to want to miss it. Keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks. We always say, let's get into it.